Hi everyone, good morning and welcome. Thank you for taking time to attend our webinar on 3D Experience Catia Connected Engineering. Our speaker today is Rupesh, who is the Senior Partner Success Manager of the Supply Chain EV Dassault System. Without further ado, let's start the webinar. Rupesh, please.
Thank you, Ian. Thanks a lot for this introduction. Hello, everyone. Good morning and very warm welcome once again for today's webinar on 3D Experience Catia. So I'll just introduce myself. I'm Rupesh Khopre. I'm Senior Partner Success Manager, uh, specifically working in uh, automotive supply chain and electric vehicle manufacturers. I've been working with various different organizations across different countries in Asia, helping our customers in order to adopt the digital transformation, revive the product innovation process, and implement uh, cutting edge technologies in order to uh, shorten the product innovation process and improve the throughput of the overall product innovation process. So with this, let me introduce, let me talk a little bit about Dassault Systems. So Dassault Systems is uh, is known for its flagship product in the market, Catia. So it's a more than 4 decade journey that we have been through. Initially, we launched our first 3D modeling, 3D design application called Catia in 1981. Since then, we have been improving our solutions and the capabilities in order to offer our solutions to various different manufacturing industries. So in 1989, we introduced 3D digital mockup concept, which allowed our customers to integrate and to do the mock-up of all the mechanical systems and validate the product into the virtual world. Then in 1999, we introduced 3D PLM applications to manage the overall life cycle of a product innovation. In 2012, we introduced our new 3D experience platform. So 3D experience platform, it's a digital platform which allows the organizations, the users, in order to collaborate uh, and in order to share the information and use it for various processes beyond design. So let's, apart from that, we have been working with various different industries and we have formed uh, within our R&D, we have formed different teams uh, which are working very closely to the industries that we are catering to, and through their experiences, we have learned about various trends uh, which are there, which are been there in the industry for quite some time, and we are responding to those trends with improving our solutions. So what are those trends that we are talking about, specifically what we observe from the industry today? The first important trend is increasing complexity of products. For example, if we talk about uh, automotive uh, product like a car or a passenger car or a commercial vehicle. So if you look at the complexity of the products, there are a lot of transformations which are being introduced. There is a trend of autonomous vehicle. There is a trend of electrification of vehicles, which basically brings in different uh, systems of different disciplines. It is no more a mechanical system now. You have a combination of mechanical, electrical, electronics, and software put together. So the overall complexity for sure it is increasing in terms of product development. The another aspect is number of variants. The market requirements are changing, and uh, the customers are expecting products as per their context, as per their situation, as per their localization of the markets, which necessarily means that there has to be a lot of customization in the products that are being delivered to the market. The processes and the ecosystems are getting complex. Uh, there are existing ecosystems which are being leveraged by the startups and new OEMs, and in order to improve the bottom line, the existing supply chain are catering to multiple OEMs. So it's becoming very dynamic, and uh, the trains are basically unsettling, and one needs to have a very robust product innovation platform infrastructure in order to sustain this increasing complexity. Another important aspect is what we have seen is demanding customers. For example, the speed of innovation. Uh, you need to cope up as a product innovator. You need to cope up with the speed of innovation as per expectations of the market, so that you will be able to bring your product into the market at right time, at right price point. Another important trend that we have seen is global and new competition. There is a disruption happening almost in all the markets and all the industries, uh, which is brought in by new startups and the new competition, and the existing enterprises needs to adopt new way of innovation in order to withstand this competition. So how do an organization can respond to these challenges, which are part of the trends? The uh, first functionality that we are talking about is improving the tool sets and implementing powerful tool sets in order to complete uh, the projects, the complex projects for today and for future, right? How do we address this complexity of the projects? The second important uh, aspect that organizations need is to work on the productivity, to improve the processes and to improve the processes of product innovation, to uh, make it faster, to bring the products to the market in shorter amount of time. The third important thing is confidence. With the evolution of social media, uh, the customers are posting their experiences with the product uh, on the social media, and uh, basically it brings in more responsibility to the makers in order to deliver more reliable products to the market, to bring the confidence of the customers. All this calls for collaboration with different agencies, with different stakeholders, and it's no more one country, one market scenario. The collaborators we see, it's a global collaboration happening. People from different countries, uh, even different continents, different time zones are collaborating with each other in order to bring in these new products. Another important thing is simplicity. In terms of infrastructure that is being implemented has to be simple enough so that it can be used effectively for all the stakeholders within the organization. We see a challenge that today for most of the organization, the design environment is limited to a very small team, and there is very high dependency. So how do we simplify this engineering definition, which can be accessible to all the stakeholders, and a 3D can become a common language across the organization that can bring a lot of simplicity in terms of the entire product design and manufacturing processes. Okay, so in order to answer these needs, how do we respond as a Dassault Systems? So we have introduced 3D Experience platform, which kind of satisfies all these needs. So a short introduction of 3D Experience platform is it's basically a digital innovation platform which will help our customers to create delightful experiences for the ultimate end customers and consumers. So what it has, it's basically it is an integration or availability of different technologies on one common digital platform. So for example, if you see here, there are applications which will allow you to create 3D models. So we do provide 3D modeling apps. For example, Catia, as I mentioned, it has been a flagship product for Dassault Systems. So the new version of Catia 3D Experience is seamlessly connected to 3D Experience platform. So this 3D data, how do I leverage this 3D data from the downstream processes, right? So there are two important downstream processes. The first one is the simulation of product itself. And with the 3D Experience platform, the same data set which is being created by a designer will be used by expert analysts in order to validate various performance of the product using simulation apps, right? So we do provide multi-physics simulation apps on 3D Experience platform, which can leverage the 3D data. Apart from that, this 3D data can also be used for manufacturing, process planning, and execution. So there would be a seamless connection between design and digital manufacturing using 3D Experience platform. Also, on 3D Experience platform, you can leverage social and collaborative apps. So for example, as I mentioned before, uh, in today scenario, you need to collaborate with a lot of stakeholders within the organization. For example, R&D needs to collaborate with manufacturing engineering. They need to collaborate with quality, planning, uh, so on and so forth. But it's not only within the organization. Today, it also calls for collaboration with the external agencies like extended enterprises, wherein collaborators from different organizations may need, like suppliers may need to collaborate with OEMs, and everyone needs to have a common platform, a digital platform in order to share the ideas, in order to communicate better. And that's what this 3D Experience platform delivers. Then one more important aspect is information and intelligence. So with all these processes of 3D modeling, simulation, and collaboration, what happens is over a period of time, you generate a lot of information, uh, you generate a lot of data uh, on the 3D Experience platform. So how do I basically derive meaningful insight from this particular uh, data, so that business owners can take informed decision, and those capabilities are delivered through information intelligence apps. So this is a short introduction of 3D Experience platform. But what we have done is, on top of this 3D Experience platform, there are dedicated industry teams dedicated for 11 different industries, starting from transportation and mobility, aerospace and defense, shipbuilding, marine and offshore, life sciences, so on and so forth. So those are the 11 different industry teams who are working very closely with the dedicated industry and trying to understand those industry trends and the processes which our customers do follow. So what do? We basically uh, try to come up with a solution which are aligned to the specific industry processes. Okay, so for example, we are working a lot. Our transportation mobility team is working a lot with the automotive suppliers in order to bring a specific solution for our customers who are in that particular space. So similarly, we are working with a lot of A&D suppliers. We are working with a lot of industrial equipment manufacturers in order to bring in the specific industry processes as per required by the industry. So coming back to the topic of Catia 3D experience, so before I talk more about it, let's see a small video which will help us to understand a little bit more about Catia 3D experience. So basically, to our existing Catia users and new product innovators, what's in it? What's in it for them in Catia 3D experience? How Catia 3D experience will benefit our customers. So we have identified 10 different values, and in next few minutes, I would be talking and detailing out these values for our customers. So the first important value is design anything you want without limits. Catia is known into the market for so many decades uh, for the stability and the robustness that it delivers when it comes to complex product design and the required performance and the precision. We have established our strength and it has been demonstrated and leveraged a lot by the industry today. So Catia 3D experience carry forward all those capabilities from existing Catia V5 and all those basically the geometrical modular uh, is the same. It has been improved. So we carry forward all those capabilities in terms of robustness and high performance. Second important aspect is design for manufacturing. Uh, the manufacturability constraint analysis capabilities have been improved a lot in Catia 3D experience. For example, the constraints required for casting and forging industry, the constraints required for plastic injection molding processes, the constraint requires for sheet metal design have been improved a lot. In case of sheet metal, uh, we not only deliver the generative sheet metal design approach, which is available in Catia V5, but also we do provide a very natural way of designing sheet metal components using a new generation tool called bend part design. So it is very intuitive to work with Catia 3D experience, when you also take care of manufacturing processes, downstream manufacturing processes for your products. Another important value that Catia delivers is managing very large assemblies. So, uh, this is an extension of the previous point of the robustness. You can load a very large amount of data uh, in Catia session, and you will be able to do the digital mockup and various modification without compromising the performance of the design processes. So that's really a important aspect. But apart from that, when it comes to working with large data, you need to have the capabilities to filter, right? Because when you load the complete product data, it could be very comprehensive, and you may need to reach to your exact sub-assembly or exact uh, component that you want to modify. So that's where these capabilities of visual filters and configurations will help you. So you can access the visualization of the complete data, and in that context, you can select the required sub-assembly product. Okay, so if you see here on the left-hand side, you see a lot of filters that allow you to filter your data and select the appropriate data, and then you can load the selected data into your design session. So it basically comprises of both the visualization of the complete data and still proven performance by using these filters. So this is a unique capability called turntable, which will allow you to explore your data in a very intuitive way. And these are the filters. So you can save the filters also into the library, so that whenever next time you want to load the same set of data, you can just apply the filter, and you can select the required component or assembly that you want to modify. So this brings a great value for the designers in order to work with very complex and large assemblies and still improve the productivity. Another important value that Catia 3D Experience delivers is a smooth engineering process workflow. So we do provide a single user environment, which means that regardless of your role related to product design, whether you are a mechanical designer or an electrical engineer or a system modeler or a simulation expert, everyone will get the same single user environment. So which makes it very intuitive in order to learn and you in order to collaborate. When everyone is working in the same environment, it is very easy to collaborate and access the information. And that basically improves the overall productivity of the product innovation process. The next important value that we deliver, and that's really a differentiator in the market today, is the digital platform, the ability of working on data instead of working on files. Many of our customers might be aware about uh, the check-in, check-out process working in legacy PLM systems. That brings in a lot of restrictions in terms of collaboration, co-design, and multiple designers working on the same data sets. So those constraints are addressed by using digital platform in 3D experience. So which allows multiple designers work on the same data sets with proper proper definition and locking mechanism on 3D Experience platform. So you don't need to basically download or check out any files. Rather, you work with the data in the session. Also, very obvious advantage with the data is when the data size is very large, you can do various techniques like streaming the data parallelly, what we call it as parallel loading, partial loading. You don't need to load the complete data in order to work. You can just load the partial data required for your work. So all those aspects, all those advantages are part of digital platform, which will be available in Catia 3D Experience. Okay, another important aspect is easy to install and maintain. When it comes to Catia 3D Experience, it is available on cloud. It is supported by Dassault Systems 24/7, 365 days a year. We do provide automatic updates and upgrades whenever available. So all those administrative tasks are being taken care by Dassault Systems, so which reduce the overall cost of maintaining IT resources for the organization. Also, it is a easy to deploy solution. For example, the end users, when they are invited to the platform, they themselves can go into the platform and download the required apps. For example, if they want to do work on part design, so they themselves can download the part design app, or can download the assembly design app, and so on and so forth. So no IT administration would be required in this particular case. So that's again reduces the overall cost of the product innovation and improve the productivity. The next important value is complex design. So now here the complexity is of the surface design, and the surface design capabilities are improved a lot in Catia 3D Experience. Catia has been known for so many years for the capabilities and the power of uh, surface design that has been further improved in Catia 3D Experience. So let's see a short video which explains the improved capabilities of Catia 3D Experience on surface design.
Surface design. Catia 3D Experience allows you to create complex wireframe and shapes thanks to the Catia Generative Shape Design app. Let's go through some of the features of this video to see how advanced shapes can be quickly and easily produced. This short demo involves the design of the front fender using the Generative Shape Design app. A large number of functionalities can be chosen directly from the model. When you select an element, the contextual toolbar suggests a series of features in accordance with what you selected. Plus, every feature added to the model is kept in the specification tree, and you can edit it at any time. Here, a curve is used to create a revolute by selecting it and clicking on the right axis using the robot. The robot can then be used to extrude, choosing the element and pulling it using one of the orange arrows in the X, Y, or Z direction. Still directly from the 3D, you can now trim the intersection after selection of the two elements to be trimmed. Catia's user interface will enhance efficiency, speed, and precision in the generation of advanced shapes. Splitting can be done in a similar way. For instance, you only have to select the two parts and click on the split command on the model using the robot. You can now assemble the surfaces in 2 clicks by selecting the 2 parts and clicking on the assembly command on the 3D. When you need to quickly modify a design to adjust some parameters, a new immersive tool for navigation and addition is available in the context toolbar. It simplifies understanding of the model, meaning there is no need to use the specification tree. It allows you to see and select as current the parents and children of the current feature. In other words, visualize the list of features that modified the selected face from the initial feature that created it to the last feature containing the final face. They can be explored directly from the 3D. That enables you to directly see the impact of modifications in real time and in context. The Catia Generative Shape Design application significantly speeds up your design process thanks to a clear and intuitive user interface with natural manipulation and contextual interactions. Depending on what your selection is, relevant commands are suggested directly in the 3D, improving your productivity, not only in completing your design more quickly, but also in reducing the time needed to understand and perform the modeling changes.
So I think these are the 2 important things when it comes to surface design in Catia 3D experience. One is the contextual uh, toolbar, which allows you to select the related commands from the geometry selection. That improves the productivity a lot. And second important aspect is the contextual navigator. Uh, when it comes to modifying the existing surfaces, many a times it becomes very tricky to understand the history of the surface creation and where do I implement those change in order to get the expected result. It becomes really tricky while working in surface design. So this challenge can be addressed very quickly by using the contextual navigator, which will improve the the productivity for surface modification. So moving on to the next value is improving the quality of your product. So the high-end surface design uh, capabilities, surface refinement capabilities have been implemented in Catia 3D experience in the same environment in which you do the generative surface modeling. And many of the capabilities on surface refinement have been given to the mechanical surface designers as well, so that it becomes more powerful and it becomes more productive for the mechanical surface designers in order to modify and achieve the required quality of the surfaces. Then again, talking about manufacturing surfaces, the advanced capabilities that we deliver in Catia 3D experience allows the tool designers to reduce the physical prototypes. So there are 2 workflows which are possible. One is during the tryouts, uh, there are a lot of modification done on the shop floor. So the question is, how do I bring those modification back to my CAD environment so that I will be using that uh, improved CAD model for my future references. So for example, if there is a wear and tear of the tool, then I need to remanufacture. So how can I bring that know-how of my uh, spotting of the first tool? So you can digitize uh, the die, you can digitize the tool, and that uh, modified tool definition can be brought into Catia 3D experience, which will allow you to modify your exact CAD data to as per the physical tool definition. The second workflow is related to spring back effect. While working with the sheet metal panels, uh, which has got larger surface area, they tend to change the shape of during manufacturing due to the elasticity of the material. And how do I address this particular challenge? There are solutions being used by many of our customers in order to estimate how much would be the spring back for the given component. So that simulation output can be brought into Catia 3D experience, using which you can modify your product design and you can compensate for the spring back effect. So that really improves not only the product development timeline, but also it reduces design to manufacturing time as well. The next important value Catia 3D experience delivers is capturing and reusing uh, the best practices of the organization. So there is a know-how within the organization. There are senior designers, engineers who have been working within the organization who develop methodologies and tools. So how to leverage those tools in order to everyone in the organization can get access to that know-how and everyone can follow the standard best practices within the organization. So here we deliver a very powerful template approach wherein you can create product templates and reuse them, which not only carries the geometry, but also it has integrated know-how rules and checks uh, as per the company standards. So when these design templates are instantiated as per the required configuration, the defined rules and check sets will also get implemented and those will get evaluated. So for example, uh, many customers have this standardization of minimum wall thickness or minimum radius given to the mechanical components. So all those best practices can be part of these engineering templates. So this really improves the productivity and reduces the design cycle time. The next important value is carryover. Most of the time when we work with different designers and engineers in the industry, we hear that a lot of the design has been carried over to the next project, next program. So how intuitively you can a designer can reuse the existing data from the previous project in order to create an environment for uh, new product development. So the first thing is a lot of this data is available in Catia v5, and the question is how do I reuse my data or in which is today which is available in Catia v5 in 3D experience environment. So Catia v5 data can be opened natively directly with all the specifications, with all the parameters on Catia 3D experience. So if you see in the specification tree on the left-hand side, you get all the features associated with your Catia v5 data. And you will be able to modify those data, change the parameters, relations to achieve the required modification. So that's how you can reuse your legacy data, which is locked in Catia v5 in 3D experience. The second important aspect, sorry. The second is important aspect is how do I leverage the data which is coming from external sources, which might not have history, which might not have parameters. So that's where we support this explicit modeling approach, direct modeling method, wherein you will be able to identify the features from a dumb solid, and you will be able to use modification capabilities in 3D experience, Catia 3D experience, in order to update the geometry. The third important use case is when it is a product data, some of the components from my existing product, I will duplicate them in my new project so that those duplicated components can be modified further for the new project requirement. Then there are certain sets of components which I will be reusing it so that no modification is required. So I will be reusing them. And then there is a third category that I don't want to carry over few of the components. So you can visually select that definition in Catia 3D experience, which makes it more appropriate, more precise and intuitive to work with the legacy product data. The next important value is support to model-based enterprise. So all the manufacturing information, the PMI information, my GD&T tolerances, and all the manufacturing instructions, notes can be given directly into 3D environment in Catia 3D experience. And that information can be used and consumed in 3D by the manufacturing processes. Say, for example, downstream departments like manufacturing engineering, production engineering, or tool room teams can make use of these 3D documents and 3D manufacturing information to understand uh, the product in shortest possible time, right? Uh, Reading 2D drawings definitely is cumbersome and takes some time and reduces the productivity. Instead, you can deliver manufacturing instructions on the 3D data itself, which improves the collaboration, understanding, reduces the error, and improves the productivity. So that approach is supported on Catia 3D experience. Then next important value is basically the related to kinematics. Today, with existing Catia V5, we can do kinematic simulation. We can use swept volume calculations and various other capabilities are there. But the challenge is the capability of existing Catia is related to one mechanism only. So that has been improved a lot significantly in Catia 3D experience, wherein you can simulate multiple mechanisms in given system together. And that brings in a good value for product innovators in order to validate the entire system or subsystem in one go. Then the next important value is enhancements in the user interface. The user interface has been improved a lot in Catia 3D experience. A lot of it has been already talked about it, but then if you see the geometry area, you get a bigger geometry area, geometry visualization. Access to the tools are available through the compass on the left hand top. You can select the required app. Then there is a search area. You can search the data coming from the database using the search area on the top, the middle. Then you have the specification tree, which is dockable. So you can dock it whenever you don't need it. You can increase the geometrical space. And this is how the overall visualization and understanding of 3D geometry is improved. Then there are various other improvements done onto the user interface. Action bar has been provided in order to access the command. There are direct manipulators, which we talked about. And there is also a customizable action path. So for example, uh, when working on similar set of processes, you may need tools coming from different apps. Say for example, part design app, surface design app, or uh, assembly design app. So what you can do is you can bring those tools onto your action pad so that you don't need to uh, juggle between different apps. And using this action pad, you will be able to work seamlessly into the design environment. You can call this action pad using hotkeys whenever you want, or you can basically hide it when you don't want this particular action pad. So these these capabilities improve the overall productivity of the designer. And the study that we did reveals that only because of these user experience enhancements, the the overall productivity of the designer has been increased by 30%. So that's the benefit uh, that that Catia 3D experience delivers. So these are the 10 different values that we deliver using Catia 3D experience. Also, we have done significant improvements in terms of packaging. The packaging of Catia 3D experience roles are more powerful compared to Catia V5. So for example, when we talk about mechanical engineer role, we do provide a static study, static simulation capabilities as part of mechanical engineer role itself. When it comes to mechanical and shape engineer role, we do provide capabilities related to real shape morphing, digitized shape preparation, working on the digitized data, mechanical surface refinement. So this is basically a high quality surface creation. So these roles are much more powerful, which will help the designers, the engineers to improve their productivity. So with this, I come to the conclusion for today's webinar uh, with few comments. Catia 3D experience is more enhanced, more powerful application. It allows the designers, the engineers, and the, the organization in order to improve the productivity, reduce the overall cycle time of product innovation. Also, it shortens time from design to manufacturing. It is easy to deploy, easy to access, easy to use, and it is a digital collaborative environment which will help to work with not only within the organization, collaboration between different departments, but also it will help to work with extended enterprises, for example, suppliers, technical collaborators, and others. So I hope you enjoyed this webinar, and uh, I hope if you have any questions, I request you to put your questions in using Q&A box of this particular webinar, and we would be happy to answer your questions. Okay, we don't have any questions so far. So if you want to know more about Catia 3D experience, I request you to join Catia community. There is an online user community for Catia. Uh, you can find it on our website, www.3ds.com, Catia user community, and you can enroll and you will get a lot of information about Catia 3D experience on that community. You can collaborate with other users who have already uh, changed from V5 to Catia 3D experience, who are uh, taking benefit of Catia 3D experience capabilities. So you can learn from them, you can interact with them. If you're facing any uh, challenge, if you want to ask any question, you can make use of that community as well, wherein experts can come and answer your questions. Also, there is a dedicated wiki, the knowledge base that you can leverage to learn more about Catia solution. Okay. No questions so far. Okay, fine then. So with this, we end today's webinar. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your time and attention. Any, if you any have, if you have any further question, do let us know. You can write to us, or you can send your queries on our website www.3ds.com, or you can reach to our existing partner who are supporting you, and we would be very happy to answer your queries and questions through them. Thank you once again. Thanks a lot and have a nice day.